Imagine for a moment that we're sitting together having coffee, and I tell you a story you probably know from childhood. The fable of the tortoise and the hare. Remember how simple yet meaningful that story was? The tortoise, slow and steady, wins against the hare, who races ahead but loses because he gets distracted, thinking victory is certain. It may sound silly, but the message is powerful. The secret lies in consistency, in persistence, and this lesson isn't just for kids. It's for us adults who deal with important decisions every day, especially when it comes to money. And look, it's not just about saving. Today, I want to talk to you about a phenomenon that affects even the most experienced: herd behavior. That almost automatic urge to follow what everyone else is doing without really thinking about why. Who hasn't found themselves in a situation like this? Think about a public emergency like a fire, for example. If someone starts running in one direction, chances are most people will follow, even if they don't know if that's the safest way out. It's natural. Or on the street, if someone stops and starts looking up at the sky, have you noticed how soon others do the same? It's instinctive, and many times we don't even realize we're following the crowd. Now, why is this so important when we talk about money and financial decisions? Because herd behavior doesn't only occur in extreme or curious situations. It also happens when we spend without thinking, just because everyone else is doing the same thing. And that, my friend, can be costly, literally. Believe me, it happens to everyone, even me. I found myself ordering a meal I didn't even want, just to not be the odd one out in the group, even when the cheaper, healthier option was something I loved. And then, without realizing it, I was wasting money just to fit in. Small decisions like that, when they add up, start to have a big impact on your wallet. So, the moral of our conversation is this: herd behavior is real and influences our choices without us even noticing. And if we're not careful, it can lead to financial decisions that make no sense for our reality. Let's talk more about this and, more importantly, how you can start breaking free from this wave and take control of your financial life. Now, tell me, have you ever found yourself making a decision just because everyone else was doing the same? Let's start understanding how this affects your money, and stay with me because there's much more ahead. Think about this. How many times have you gone to a party where you hardly knew anyone and, to not feel out of place, ended up spending money on drinks or snacks just to blend in with the others? It's uncomfortable, I know. You feel out of place, so you try to fit in even if it means opening your wallet. The same thing happens when we go out with friends and everyone decides to order burgers, and you, not wanting to be the odd one, end up ordering the same, even if your stomach was saying you'd prefer something else, or even if you weren't that hungry. And, of course, this repeats almost imperceptibly. Then you might think, oh, but these are just small decisions, they won't bankrupt me. And it's true, once or twice may not make a big difference. But the point is, when this behavior becomes a habit, your wallet starts to feel it. With every outing, every unnecessary purchase, you're giving in to herd behavior. And the money that could have been invested, saved, or used more wisely slips away drop by drop. And there's more. Herd behavior isn't just about parties and snacks. It seeps into other areas of our financial life, influencing bigger and potentially more dangerous decisions. For instance, how many times have you bought something because everyone else was buying it? A new phone, a brand name outfit, or even a trendy car. And then, suddenly, you realize you've invested in something you didn't really need. The point here is simple but crucial. Start paying attention to these automatic moments. When you catch yourself following others without even thinking, pause. Ask yourself, do I really want or need this, or am I just trying to fit in? This small habit of questioning can save you from many unnecessary expenses. So, next time you're about to spend money just because it's what the crowd is doing, stop and reflect. It might seem like a small thing, but over time, it makes all the difference to your financial well-being. Remember the fable of the tortoise and the hare? Being the tortoise, slow and steady, is what will get you there. Alright, let's dive a bit deeper into this subject. Because if there's one thing that can really complicate your financial life, it's the pursuit of status. Yes, that desire to always have the latest and greatest, to impress others, to show that you're on top of the trends. And hey, we all fall for this now and then, right? But the impact of this mindset can be devastating to your wallet. Imagine this: you have a phone that works perfectly. It makes calls, takes great photos, and runs all the apps you need. But then, the new model comes out, the one everyone is talking about. Your friends start flaunting their new devices, and you feel tempted to do the same just so you don't feel left behind. The truth is, many times this decision to upgrade your phone or buy brand name clothes has nothing to do with necessity. It's social pressure speaking louder. And you know what's the problem with that? When we let our ego drive our choices, we end up buying things we can't really afford. Phones, designer clothes, luxury cars, all just to make it seem like we have a better life than we actually do. The price? A bank account that's always in the red and, in many cases, mounting debt. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't buy nice things. If you have the money and want to invest in something that makes you happy, go for it. The problem is when those purchases are made just to impress others without any real need. Before spending, ask yourself, am I buying this for myself or for others? This simple question can change how you view money. Here's a challenge for you. Next time you feel pressured to buy something just because everyone else is doing it, I want you to pause and think. If this reflection helped you, or if you think you need more tips to avoid these financial traps, engage with the video. Leave a like and of course share in the comments a situation where you felt that social pressure. Now, let's take this conversation to the next level and talk about something that can completely transform your financial life. The power of an emergency fund. And look, saving money might seem like a distant concept, but let me show you how it can be the key to a more secure and peaceful life. Think with me, your financial life is like a building. If this building doesn't have a solid foundation, any unexpected event can cause major damage. Now, the emergency fund is that foundation. It's what protects you, what sustains you, even when the unexpected happens. It gives you freedom, it gives you security. It's the difference between being vulnerable to every situation that gets out of control and having the stability to face any challenge that comes your way. Just to motivate you a little more, less than 12% of people manage to have a fully funded emergency reserve. So, when you start building yours, you're already doing something extraordinary, already standing out from those who are stuck in debt and uncertainty. And you don't have to save it all at once, okay? The point isn't to be perfect, it's just to start. The secret lies in consistency. Every cent you save is a step towards a more stable and free life. And that freedom, that feeling of security, is priceless. It's knowing you don't have to worry about life's small storms because you built protection for yourself. Now, I want to challenge you to take that step today. If you haven't started your reserve yet, do it now, even if it's a small amount. What matters is creating the habit, taking the first step. And if this content has inspired you so far, if it has helped you see how important it is to protect yourself financially, leave a like. It helps spread this message to more people. Shall we keep moving forward together? You are not alone, and the best is yet to come. We can also talk about something related to not following this herd behavior, which is a real game changer when it comes to personal finances. The influence of trends and consumer fads. You know, it's very easy to get carried away by what's popular at the moment. You look around, see everyone talking about it, and the urge to join in is almost irresistible. But here's the point. Following trends without thinking can be a real trap for your wallet. And it's not just about expensive things, it's about making choices without thinking about the consequences. It's like letting our ego take over, leading us to buy and spend on things that, deep down, aren't even important to us. The big question is, we need to learn to pause, to reflect before acting impulsively. Because the truth is, the more you try to keep up with what's popular or fit into other people's expectations, the more complicated your financial situation can become. Trends will pass, but debts can stay, and that's what we need to avoid. Remember, your money should work for you, not be a reflection of other people's expectations. So what can you do? Develop the habit of questioning yourself before making any purchase. Ask yourself if it's truly important to you or if it's just external pressure speaking. This simple exercise of awareness can work wonders for your financial future. It's about thinking long-term, choosing security and stability over blindly following what's trending. And here's some encouragement. Before spending money on something just because everyone else is, think about the sense of freedom that comes from having control over your money. Think about how powerful it is to choose what's best for you, without being influenced by the expectations of others. And now, let's tackle one of the most sensitive topics when it comes to personal finance. The danger of promises of easy money. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Making a lot of money with little effort without even leaving home. But let me tell you, this is one of the biggest risks you can take, and those who have fallen into this trap know exactly what I'm talking about. Nowadays, it's becoming more and more common to see people getting into online betting or falling for pyramid schemes. Often driven by herd behavior, people invest just because everyone else is doing it. But behind these enticing promises, the truth is that, in the long run, most people lose money, and the ones who benefit are the creators of these platforms. Here, the golden rule is simple. There's no such thing as easy money. Any real investment, one that is safe and legitimate, provides returns in a slow and steady manner. There's no point in falling for the idea that you can make a fortune overnight, because these promises often end badly. And this goes for everything from those famous aviator bets to schemes that promise a guaranteed 10% return per month. If it's too good to be true, that's already a reason to be suspicious. I know it's tempting, especially when friends or acquaintances share the gains they've made from bets or schemes. But what we don't see are the losses, the sleepless nights, the money that's gone and never coming back. So please don't put your financial stability at risk for something so uncertain. And if you really want to invest and grow your money, the path is different. Start with traditional investments, study them, understand the market, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Investing may be slow, but it's safe, and that's what brings real results in the long term. If you've had an experience like this or know someone who has, share it in the comments. Let's help more people avoid this trap. Remember, building wealth takes time and discipline, but that's true security. We're in this together, and every conscious step makes a difference in your future. Now, let's talk about something that may seem tempting but often turns into a big problem: following investment trends without understanding what's behind them. You know, when everyone starts talking about a stock that's going up, a cryptocurrency that's supposed to explode, or a real estate fund that's making a lot of money? That's when herd behavior can put you at risk. And I get it, it's natural to want to be part of what's happening, to want to catch the wave and make quick money. But let me tell you something that makes all the difference. Investing is a long-term game. If you're always chasing the trendiest investment, the one that will give you the biggest return in the shortest time, you're acting like the hare in our fable, running from one place to another but ending up losing the race. The truth is that to succeed in the investment world, you need to be like the tortoise: patient, consistent, and above all, well-informed. Before investing, it's essential to understand what you're buying, the risks involved, and if it fits your strategy and life goals. Just because everyone is praising a stock or a cryptocurrency doesn't mean you should invest without thinking. Remember the famous Warren Buffett quote? Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. That's exactly it. When you invest without studying, without understanding, you're putting yourself at risk. On the other hand, when you do your homework, build a diversified portfolio, and understand every asset you own, you're reducing risk and increasing your chances of success. So my advice to you is, don't get carried away by haste or hype. Take the time to learn, study the different types of investments, and choose what makes sense for you. It may not be as exciting as following the latest trends, but it will bring you more security and stability in the long run. If you want to learn more about how to start investing consciously and strategically, leave a comment below about what you'd most like to learn about investments. And to wrap things up, we need to talk about something fundamental that we don't always give the proper importance to: patience in the world of investments. If there's one thing that truly sets apart those who build wealth over time from those always trying to recover losses, it's the ability to be patient and consistent. Let's think of it as a building where every brick you lay today is a step toward your financial future. Look, I know the idea of getting rich quickly sounds wonderful. Who wouldn't want an investment that triples in value in just a few weeks? But what most people don't realize is that this mindset of quick gains is exactly what leads many to frustration and loss. Investing patiently is like being the tortoise from our fable. You move forward slowly but steadily and safely. And in the end, you're the one who wins the race. Let's be honest, in the real world there are no safe shortcuts. The stories of people getting rich overnight are the exception, not the rule. The rule is to study, diversify, and invest wisely. This means understanding that the market has its ups and downs, and success comes from being able to wait and stick to your strategy, even when things get tough. Be patient. Every investment you make is a seed planted. Some take years to bloom, but when they do, the result is worth the wait. Don't go chasing after the new gold or the stock of the moment without making sure you know what you're doing. Don't get carried away by haste or fear of missing out. Investing is an exercise in discipline, and that's what brings lasting results. Remember, building a secure financial future is a process, and you're on the right path. Every conscious choice you make today is an investment in your tomorrow. Let's go together, slow and steady, because the best is yet to come. And finally, let's tie everything we talked about today together. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's that your financial freedom is in your hands. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or already have some knowledge on the subject, there's always room to improve, to learn, and to grow. And believe me, every choice you make today builds the future you want to live. When we talk about avoiding herd behavior, making conscious purchases, or being patient in the world of investments, we're talking about taking control of your financial life. And that is powerful. It means you have the ability to build a life with less stress, more security, and the freedom to enjoy what really matters. Because in the end, money is a tool. It should work for you, not the other way around. And I know it can be challenging sometimes. Social pressure, the desire to follow trends, or even the fear of being left behind can make us feel insecure. But the good news is that you don't have to do it alone. I'm here to help you, and we have this amazing community of people who are also on this journey, seeking a more balanced and healthy financial life. So here's my final invitation: don't put it off. Start now, whether it's creating your first emergency fund, rethinking an unnecessary expense, or starting to learn more about investments. Small steps today turn into big achievements tomorrow. And of course, I want to hear from you. What was the biggest lesson you took from this video? What will you do differently from now on? Write it in the comments, because your experience can inspire others who are going through the same thing. If you found this content useful, don't forget to leave a like to help more people discover these valuable tips. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the upcoming videos full of insights and strategies for a better financial life. And last but not least, remember, you deserve a life with fewer financial worries and more freedom. And I'll be here to support you every step of the way. Let's go together, because the future starts now. Thank you for being here with me today, and see you in the next video.